Welcome to What's Trending, your go-to podcast for staying informed about what's trending in the ever-evolving landscape of Westchester and beyond. We are your hosts, Amanda DePalma, Senior Vice President of Events and Development, and Dr. Marsha Gordon, President and CEO of the Business Council of Westchester. On today's episode, we're very excited to welcome the newest member of the BCW team, Bella Luongo, Senior Manager of Marketing and Communications. Bella joined the BCW this March and leads our strategic marketing and communications efforts, shaping and amplifying the BCW's voice across all platforms, from digital content and media relations to creative initiatives and executive messaging. With a background in acting, directing, and storytelling, she brings a unique and creative perspective to how organizations connect with their audiences. Today, we'll explore how Bella's background in theater and community work influences her approach to marketing, the latest trends in communication, and how storytelling continues to evolve as a powerful tool for engagement and impact. What's Trending is sponsored by Webster Bank. Thank you for your support of the BCW Podcast Network. Bella, welcome to What's Trending.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
And we are happy that you are with us both today on the podcast and now with us at the BCW.
Yes.
So let's get right into it with our listeners. Tell us a little bit now about this new role for you here at the BCW and the work you do leading the marketing and communications for the organization.
Sure. So this has been an incredible opportunity. It's been so much fun. I am so grateful and happy to be here with you guys. And really, my role covers many different aspects of marketing communications. So social media, digital marketing, press releases, writing, covering events, whether it's, a little bit of videos and photos, to writing articles or pieces like that as well. It's an all-encompassing thing, and it's really fun to meet so many different members and to spend time with the staff. It's been a blast.
I know we are a great organization, and we're a lot of fun to be around,
yeah,
both internally in the office and the Business
Yes.
Council membership as a whole. So again, welcome. You really have a very interesting lead up to joining us here at the BCW. The journey's, fascinating. You come from a BFA in acting and directing to now leading the marketing and communications at the BCW. How has your theater background shaped the way that you approach storytelling?
Yeah, so it's a really interesting journey, right? So theater, filmmaking, and writing really have shaped how I think about storytelling in every aspect of my work. So as an actor, you learn to bring a character to life, to understand their motivations, and communicate emotion live to an audience, to bring them something real and authentic. Filmmaking adds a visual dimension to that. So you think about framing, pacing, and guiding attention through imagery. And writing brings it all together. It's where you build your narrative for what you're trying to say. Marketing is really a blend of all three of those things. I'm telling a story of an organization, of its people, its impact, and I want that story to be felt as much as it is understood. So whether it's a social media post or a newsletter or a campaign video, I approach it like a mini production. How do I write it, stage it, and present it in a way that not only captures attention, but stays with the audience and brings them something authentic that they can resonate with?
Now, you mentioned before, too, because you talked about marketing and how it was a blend of sort of all those other three factors. And, trends as far as marketing and everything that falls under marketing, it's constantly evolving. Mm-hmm. So, what are some of the biggest trends that you're seeing right now in digital marketing and communications that organizations within Westchester and beyond, what should people really be paying attention to?
Yeah, so I think truly one of the biggest trends right now is authenticity. And that really shows that you can show that through your visuals, through your writing. People want content that feels real, whether it's like a short form video or a caption. Interactive content is also huge. So ways to engage with your particular audience and what they're looking for. At the same time, like your writing is really a core aspect to use to tie all of that together, because it gives your message clarity, it gives it voice. Another trend also is personalization. So especially for businesses here in Westchester and what we're doing, making your content feel like it's speaking directly to someone. combining visual storytelling, thoughtful writing, and strong local perspective, I think is really important. And I think that can make campaigns feel incredibly engaging and meaningful and reach the audiences that want to see it, No,
absolutely. And we're it's so important for us at the Business Council, and you're seeing it firsthand now that you've been with us, just how important relationships are, and to be able to, sort of maintain that in a way that, businesses are paying attention to.
Yeah.
That's so important. You've mentioned, sharing with us that you've had a quite amount of hands-on experience with family-run businesses early in your life. How has that informed your approach to supporting and communicating the stories of, local businesses and the small businesses that make up the Business Council?
Yeah, so that was really such a gift that my family gave me. I sort of dove in at a very early age, working under my father, who's a chef. So it was a lot of moving parts. It was really, really crazy, but it was invaluable in the lessons that it taught, not only about business, but about how important it is to have, like what is your business for? It's for your community. Like, that's what's important. And building those relationships, is invaluable to why why else are you doing what you're doing? That's really the core of the question. It demonstrates how important community connection is and has been. Some of the clients we've had at my restaurant over the years have become our very dear personal friends, and taking that and being able to bring it to life, whether it's visually or with writing or all these aspects that we've talked about, I really think that lesson has been so invaluable in getting to do it and learn it firsthand. You have
exactly. I was going to say, just go right in, 2 feet in.
Yeah, just go 2 feet in, and it really gave me a foundation of understanding how important hustle and community is to a small business, and that they're really at the heart of our community.
Absolutely, no, and we have so many amazing nonprofits, large businesses, small businesses, entrepreneurs, that make up the Business Council of Westchester. So you kind of coming from that background, you really know the pulse of what our membership is going through. And so that's another great aspect into how you're going to, continue to communicate and share our messaging and their messaging. So thank you for that. Charity work, theater, play a very big role in your life. How do you bring creativity and empathy from those experiences into your professional work?
Yeah, so while it's sort of a different path, it still ties into the background coming from a small business. It's really charity work, theater, filmmaking, writing, it all centers around connection. Theater teaches empathy, filmmaking is visual, writing helps you articulate, but all of that, it brings together the message that you need to say. And my work with children, especially in hospitals, has really reinforced to me how powerful storytelling can be when it is rooted in empathy. I try to bring that into my marketing and into my job by focusing on creating content that feels genuine and human, whether that's through the words we choose, through visuals. It's all about making people feel something and that they're connected to something bigger than themselves. And I think that's really invaluable in that way.
No, that's incredible. Can you mentioned a little bit about the work that you do in hospitals. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So I volunteer with a number of organizations. We bring characters to hospitals. It kind of came to me organically through COVID because everything shut down and auditions were shut down and everything. And, we do costume work. We make the costumes. We portray these characters and we bring them to various hospitals all over this tri-state area. For the past 5 years, we've been working in New York City, but these organizations do go nationwide. And it's really humbling and it's really quite a lesson to see, even if you feel silly, you feel like, okay, I've put on a costume, I feel away. But the second that you show up and you see what it means to these kids who might not have an opportunity to go to Disneyland, to go to a park, to interact in other ways kids might be able to, it really puts everything into perspective really quick. And I would do it. I do it a million times over and over and over, No,
that's incredible. Thank you for that. Now, looking ahead, how do you see marketing and communications evolving for organizations like the BCW over the next few years, and how can storytelling continue to play really a key role in that evolution?
Yeah. So marketing is definitely becoming more immersive and data driven, but I think because of that, storytelling is all the more important. I think we'll see, like I said before, a blend of strong writing, visuals. I think visuals are very grabbing for people. But I think the organizations that will stand out will be the ones that can tell clear, authentic stories across multiple platforms. Platforms that, important to definitely get people's attention as our attention sort of wanes these days.
It's like the amount of time someone looks at a screen is like 3 seconds or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, get yourself a good hook. But that being said, like I said before, authenticity and personalization and localizing it to really, I think what I'm trying to say is marketing can feel like this big overwhelming thing for people, and it can feel like, okay, I really want to, how do I reach the people I need to reach? And you do that by being yourself, truly. I know that sounds like...
Well, it's like you write what you know in a way that translates.
But I really do believe in that. And I think we're getting more and more into a very digital age and everything that's going on, which is great. But I think with that comes the need to preserve the humanity in that. And I think the more that you do that and the more that you speak what is true about your organization, your business, what is your mission, what is your goal, that is going to be changing the way that you interact with your audience. And they're going to feel that because a human being understands a human being, right? So, yeah.
And I think especially with everything coming on and around AI, and it's incredibly impressive and impactful, and there is something to be said for the authenticity. And then, you want to make sure that you maintain that connection. So, yeah. Before we kind of wrap it up, you were talking a little bit about the costuming work that you do and your theater work. What's one of the most memorable characters you've portrayed for kids, and what made that experience so special for you?
Wow. Well, I've done many characters, from superheroes to Disney princesses. We do a lot of as well. But I think my personal favorite is Princess Leia from Star Wars. I love her. Obviously, Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher are iconic, but even besides that, just to see the impact that she has in these hospitals and what she means, especially to little girls, but really I've had so many children come up. I've had adults come up and cry and tell me, I love her so much. This is what she means to me, and this is what she's inspired for me for many years. And that's really, it's humbling for me, and it's a privilege and an honor to see that. I obviously love that character very much, but seeing her impact in hospitals and how that can inspire someone who might need that at the time is really, really special.
Well, she's a pretty cool princess.
Yeah, she is. Tough princess.
Well, Bella, thank you so much for joining us today on What's Trending. Your perspective on storytelling, creativity, and authentic communication is incredibly insightful, and it's clear how much passion you bring to both your professional work and to your community involvement. We're very lucky to have had you join us now here at the BCW team. Thank you again to our sponsor, Webster Bank, and to our listeners. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Be sure to check out the BCW Podcast Network's expansive lineup of shows: Leadership Unleashed, What's Trending, Advocacy and Politics Unplugged, The Member Spotlight, and Nonprofit Voices of Impact. The Business Council of Westchester is the county's largest business membership organization focusing on economic development and advocacy. With over 1,100 members, it is our mission to work for the profitability of our members and the prosperity of the Westchester community. To learn more about the Business Council of Westchester, please go to thebcw.org.